here, Roxy. Come here. Come here, girl. Oh, yeah. This is Roxy. We love our pets and they make our lives richer and we want to share the world with them. The question is, can Roxy go on my next SpaceA adventure with me? We're going to get into that and find out what's possible and what's not. Stay tuned. You might be a SpaceA rookie or a seasoned SpaceA traveler with millions of miles of travel underneath your belt. And if you're an experienced, seasoned SpaceA traveler, you know that with SpaceA, the details matter. A question that I see pop up in SpaceA Facebook groups from time to time is about pets. And the question is, can I take my pet with me on my next SpaceA adventure? Where can I find out what the guidelines are for traveling SpaceA with my puppy? As with everything related to military SpaceA travel, this question is governed by Department of Defense Instruction 4515.13, a document entitled Air Transportation Eligibility. You can find this document publicly available on the internet using Google. Once you find the document, scroll down to page 57, looking specifically at section 10. All of the guidelines are right there. So the question is, can Roxy go with me or does she have to stay home? Well, in Roxy's case, she cannot go because Roxy is not a certified service animal. Bottom line up front, your dog must be a certified service animal to travel SpaceA with you. In this case, certified service animal is defined in the glossary of this same document. Let's review. Service animal, a dog, regardless of breed or type, that is individually trained to do work or perform tasks for the benefit of a qualified individual with a disability, to include physical, sensory, psychiatric, intellectual, or mental disability, animal species other than dogs, emotional support animals, comfort animals, companionship animals, and service animals in training are not service animals for the purposes of Part 382.3 of Title 14 CFR and this issuance. So there you have it. In the glossary, you find a clear and unambiguous definition of what a service animal is. And something that I wanted to make you specifically aware of is that within Section 10, there's a key word that is used, and that word is may. It states that other DoD aircraft may accommodate service animals subject to the reasonable limitations required by the configuration of the aircraft or operational necessity. Again, the key word to pay attention to is the word may, which by definition means that flight crews may or may not be able to accommodate a service animal depending on a specific mission, configuration, or other circumstances. So much of this particular question is situationally dependent that it becomes very difficult to predict the reliability of being able to fly with a service animal. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying it's clearly going to be a challenge. The regulation goes on to stipulate that travelers are limited to no more than 2 trained and certified service animals. And those animals must be able to fit in the handler's lap and or at the handler's feet. They have to be able to care for the animal's needs and control the animal at all times. And the regulation says they're also responsible for feeding and ensuring that the service animal is able to relieve themselves without posing a health or sanitation issue. This is most likely accomplished by using a doggy diaper. There are other very significant documentation requirements around the vaccination status of your particular animal. And if you're traveling to a foreign destination, you might face quarantine challenges, and you would need to be prepared to cover the costs of a potentially extended quarantine of your animal. So what's the bottom line? If you have a certified service animal, your dog may be able to travel with you on your next SpaceA adventure. But I want to stress that if your dog is an emotional support animal, they do not meet the criteria under the regulation. If you're not currently familiar with DoD instruction 4515.13, I strongly recommend that you get onto the internet. You can find it using Google and review section 10 very carefully. Make certain that you understand all of the requirements that apply. That way you can be fully informed if you choose to take your dog with you on your next SpaceA trip, as your certified service animal. As for me, Roxy can't go with us, so I'm going to have to just send her pictures. We'll make sure she's well taken care of, and we'll FaceTime her regularly. So to recap, let's talk about the takeaways. Takeaway number 1, and most importantly, again, service animals are authorized to travel SpaceA with you. Second takeaway, the regulations impose very strict requirements in terms of paperwork submissions on the front end before you take your SpaceA trip. And you have to be aware, particularly if you're undertaking foreign travel, that you could be subject to very serious vaccination requirements and possibly quarantine of your animal. Takeaway number 3, as always, it's the flight crew that has the ultimate authority over whether your service animal can or cannot accompany you on a given flight. And this could impact your ability to reliably catch and connect with the SpaceA flight that you're counting on. And last but not least, I would reiterate that SpaceA travel comes with many potential challenges and very few assurances or guarantees. Extended waits, delays, and other challenges can frustrate even a veteran, experienced SpaceA traveler. You have to consider very carefully whether your animal is up to the challenge. Good luck in planning your next SpaceA adventure. If this information has been helpful or useful to you, I would ask that you hit the subscribe button as well as the like and depress the bell so that you get notifications every time we post an updated video to the web. Also, if you think this information might be useful to a veteran friend of yours who's also eligible to fly SpaceA, please consider sharing this video with them. You can send them a link, and who knows, it might just be useful. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.